So this is a video explanation of lesson 3.3. We had it in class, but I found that it was very challenging, so I made this video so that you can also watch it at home to kind of get another look at this lesson. So this lesson is all about measuring angle measurements using pattern blocks. Let's read the directions to start. I'm sorry, my camera is getting a little glitchy. It's focusing. Alright, I think it'll be okay. For each pattern block below, tell the degree measure of the angle and explain how you found the measure. Do not use a protractor. So what they want you to do here is look at these angles as shapes and determine what they are by using information you already know. When we look at this angle A, we are measuring the angle, or the distance from here to here. And to draw an angle, we need these two rays, or lines, to create it. So once we draw these two lines, we create this angle. This other information isn't necessary if we had a protractor. But for the purpose of this lesson, we're going to use the entire triangle to figure it out. Yesterday we talked about a point creating a circle, and that the measurement of a circle, the degrees of a circle, is 360. Well, let's look at this shape. Let's notice that this is the same as this. So these are identical or congruent, which means that they are exactly the same. If we put them all together, we can create a new shape, which, oops, wrong shape, which is actually a hexagon. But what's important is noticing that if we put 6 of them together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, it creates a point. And if we draw a circle around that point, that is the degree of 360 degrees. So 6 of them is 360. So now we have to find out what is one of them, because here's angle A. So we need to find out what one of them is. Well, yesterday we talked about finding the measurement of one angle when it's put within a circle. So if we take 1 out of 6, we can divide to find out. So if I divide 6 by 360, I get 60. And that becomes my angle measurement, 60. Let's explain. This is hard, the explaining part, but it's very important because it ensures that you really understood the lesson. So let's think about what we did. We divided 360 by 6. Why? Because we knew 6 triangles made a point, and the measure around a point is 360. All right, let's look at the other ones. Number 2. Number 2 asks to measure angle B. I find it more understandable if you redraw the angle. Sometimes we get confused because we want to look at all of this other space. But what they're really just asking us again is these two rays combined together makes an angle. So they're asking about that measurement exactly. So I have the identical shape. It's a hexagon. And I can find that angle right on there. So if I put this on top, I know B is here. I know these two lines make B. So I can then transfer it to a blank sheet of paper and redraw it. and this is B. They are the same. And now I can't use a protractor. I have to try to measure this with the information I have. And what the information I have is that this triangle's measurement is 60. So I know that if I put this triangle here, that this angle is 60. But it doesn't fit in there perfect. I need 2 triangles to get it in there. So now that's the same. I can even pick it up and move it over here. It is the same as B. This angle forms the same as this angle. And I'm not concerned about this angle or this angle or this angle. I'm just looking at this angle here. So now if 1 is 60, I can find out what 2 is. So if 1 is 60 and there's 2 here, all I have to do is multiply by 2 or add 60 plus 60. Oops, made a mistake. I'm going to put it off to the side. Or I can add 60 plus 60. And in both instances, the answer is 120. So I know that angle B, this measurement here, is 120. So then I can go ahead and write my answer. Got to remember to put my degrees. And now again I have to explain, and this is the tricky part. Measure B, measure of angle B. Why is it 120? Okay, well, I know one triangle angle measurement, I'm just going to write M for measurement, is 60 degrees. I needed 2 to fit in angle B. Therefore, the answer is 60 times 2, which equals 120 degrees. Now, you might word this a little differently, and that's okay, but you really need to explain how you got the information. Explain how you figured out 60 times 2. All right, let's continue on with number 3. Excuse me while I adjust the camera. All right. Number 3 is talking with, Number 3 displays a rhombus, and I have that shape as well here. And as you can see, they are exactly the same. But now number 3 asks you for 2 different angles. They are different. There's angle C and there's angle D. If I look at C, it is this angle, and I need these 2 rays. If I look at D, it is this angle, and I need these 2 rays. So now I'm going to do what I did before and trace them. So C is right here, so I'm going to pick it up, put it on my extra piece of paper, and I'm going to draw it. And that is C. And while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and draw D2. D is here. I'm going to pick it up and move it, and D. So I have the 2 angles they're asking me about, and I can find out what they are using that same method I did with 2. I know that one triangle is 60 degrees. One triangle's angle is 60 degrees, and if I place the angle within this angle, it fits perfectly. There's no extra room. They are exactly the same, so if this is 60, then C must be 60, and I can go ahead and write it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop and explain before I forget. And I can say the measurement of angle C was exactly like angle A, or the triangle. The triangle's angle. Therefore, the measurement of angle C is also 60. All right, now I have to focus on angle D. Well, if I look at angle D, I can put a triangle in there, but I still have a lot of space. And in fact, I can also fit two triangles, just like B. So angle B and angle D are actually the same angle. Sorry, the light went out. Angle B and angle D are exactly the same angle. So that is also going to be 120 degrees. And now I have to explain. I can explain it two ways. I can say angle D is identical to angle B, therefore it is also 120. Or I can say I drew angle D and two triangles of angle A fit in them, and therefore it was 60 times 2 again, and that is 120. So there's two ways to explain that. I'm not going to write it right now to save time, but you understand that you could have said two different things. Now, let's look at 4. 4 is a trapezoid, and I have that shape. It is right here, and as you can see, it's again identical. And number 4 is also asking for two different angles. Angle E, which is right here and uses these two rays, and angle F, which is right here and uses these two rays. Oh, I'm sorry, I covered that up, but you can see it here, these two. Okay. So now I can do the same method. I can transfer it over to my paper and figure it out again. Or this time I'm going to go ahead and use the shape to try to figure it out. I know that I'm only using these two rays and I'm only measuring this angle, so I'm going to go ahead and try to fit my triangle in there. And my triangle fits. There is no space on this side of the angle, and there's no space on, oh, my hand's in the way again, and there's no space on this side of the angle. So it fits perfectly. And since I know this is 60, then I know that E is also 60. So I'm going to write something similar. I'm going to say the measurement of angle E was exactly like angle A. Here, A. And therefore I know that the measurement of angle E is the same as the triangle's angle, which is 60 degrees. Now let's look at F. Again, I can trace it and put it on my paper over here, or I can just go look at that angle only. Now if I put a triangle in there, the triangle fits perfectly over here, but I'm not measuring this angle. I'm measuring this angle. And if I look on this side of the triangle, there's still space. So I haven't fit the angle. Right now I have an angle like this, or 60 degrees. I don't have this big obtuse angle that's here. So I can fit another triangle in there. And now I haven't filled this space, but let me look at my angle. I'm measuring F. And if I look at this side, it's filled, and this side, it's filled. So I know that I only needed 2. And this angle and the angle on the paper are exactly the same. So two triangles, each are 60. That's 60 times 2 yet again, which is 120. So F is 120. And now I could say I transferred the angle and two triangles fit in there, and I know one triangle's angle is 60. Or I could go ahead and say that F's angle fit the two triangles, and two triangles are 60. It depends on how you work the problem. I hope this helps. I also am going to post a video about the homework for tonight because it is very challenging, but I really think this, watching this a second time would be very helpful. Thank you. Hope it helped. Bye-bye.